Hello everyone, this is Loco S, and welcome to another Ace Combat themed livery showcase video. This time we're going to be covering the famed A-10C Warthog. I will make a quick mention that this is the older A-10C Warthog in-game. It's not the updated A-10C 2 version, as evidenced by the fact that you have this little I think it's like a laser identification for ground units. On the A-10C, it's supposed to actually IFF ground units. I don't know if that's in-game or not. It might be one of those weird things from like a holdover or something, but I don't... whatever it is, this laser spot identification module on the right-hand side is on the older A-10C. The A-10C2, I think, removes that from the external model. So I'm also not 100% certain if the skins are cross-compatible. I think you do have to download a separate A-10C2 skin in order for it to work, and I don't think that they're compatible with each other. So just keep in mind that all these skins today only apply to the older A-10C. So with that out of the way, let us start by going over the A-10C2 skins. This skin is done by the Mr. Sir 46, and this is the 122nd Tactical Fighter Squadron, Gladiators. It's an Erusean skin. It's a really interesting skin because it's sort of like a A-10C with a desert camo, which really fits with the A-10C. It's a nice like a nice sandy light. It's definitely a sandy color and like a light, medium, and darker tone, kind of a molten camouflage too. The ISAF rondels are also low vis. They're not low vis gray, but they're kind of a low vis dark gray black, which is really cool for the the Erusean rondel. Erusean rondel is like a nice dark gray black coloration. You also have the Erusean flag on the tail. With the markings of the airbase markings. I do believe the tail numbers are static to the aircraft, but that's fine. You also have the Gladiator Squadron emblem on the tail as well, and it's matched on the other tail. And something to note about these skins is the fact that there's two skins in the pack, and they're actually both of different pilots. So you have this skin here with no kill marks. That belongs to like this lieutenant who's probably going on he's probably just starting out his career. And then moving on, we can just go back here. Moving on to this skin, you also then have a skin right here, and this skin has 2 kill marks on it for the quote-unquote squadron leader. But again, it's very similar coloration amongst both skins. It's a really cool looking desert skin for the A-10C, and we kind of need a desert camo skin for the A-10. Moving on, we have the Ustio Air Force's skin. Not quite sure what those AI guys are doing back there, but okay. By the way, the real quick aside, those units, if you're wondering what they are not part of the base game. They are part of the French pack mod. I will cover that mod in one day, but basically the French pack mod is a collection of French ground units, along with some FOB equipment and some other stuff. But we'll cover that a different day. Going back to the livery skin videos, we have the Ustio Air Force's 22nd Auxiliary Fighter Unit. Let me see if I can get this pronunciation right. Hildesvini. Their emblem is, appropriately enough for the Warthog, a boar. And the skin pack, like a lot of Mr. Sir 46s and some other content creators for skins, a lot of the Ustio skins are the skin pack comes with several skins, and each one's supposed to represent a different Mercs a different Mercs airframe, bird, aircraft, whatever you want to call it. This one, so for the one of the flight squadron members of the 22nd or the 27th, they have a light gray with a darker gray molted pattern on top of it. You have the Ustio rondels on the side of the aircraft, up in the front near the middle of the aircraft, the front middle portion. You have 2 on the wing. You have the Valet Air Base code right there. Again, these are fixed Bort numbers for each of these aircraft. The 6th Air Division's emblem's also on there, along with the emblem of the boar, which is pretty cool. And also, this one has the infamous shark mouth for the A-10 with the eyes, which is really cool. Next up, we have more of a plain but still really nice light gray A-10C livery. Again, Ustio's rondel is on the sides of the aircraft, on the wings. 6th Air Division logo on the tail, Valet Air Base code, all that good stuff. This one's a bit more, like I said, a lighter gray, a bit more quote-unquote plain, but still nice camo for the A-10C. Because you don't know, again, I don't think there's any real-life liveries of it in this kind of a nice winter camo. And then we have this one. This one is another again, same. This is the last of the squadron members. This one has a different shark. It's still the shark mouth motif, but this time it's more of like a warthog, where you have like these aggressive fangs, but also these 2 tusks coming out, and the eyes are really cool. Along with this really nice, like, it's the light gray undercoat, but then you have sort of like an olive drab, like a very light green gray coloration on top. And it's a nice molted pattern. Looks really nice. So that's it for Ustio's 27th Auxiliary Fighter Wing out of Valet Air Base. We are now moving on to ISAF. Now, ISAF was also done. Let's see here. Now, the ISAF one was actually done by AWACS Bandog. This is the 357th Fighter Squadron Raiders. Again, AWACS Bandog made this one. You definitely have another. This time it's a different flag for one of the ISAF countries on the back. It's on the tail end. Different airbase code. You have ISAF on the engine intakes, which is pretty cool. You have like a blue for the you have the blue wing the blue tail of the tips, which is really nice, little detail, a little bit of color on this. Otherwise, fairly plain but nice skin. It's a darker tan on the top. So looking from above, you can just see pretty much only this darker tan with the leading edge is like that light tan color, which runs along the side of the aircraft, which is a really cool pattern to have. And of course, the belly's pretty plain. Also, on the one side, you have the different air-to-ground kills it's made. So it looks like it's taken out like 3 trains, quite a few radar dishes, a whole lot of trucks and tanks and IFVs. That's pretty cool. And you can definitely tell that this is also the quote-unquote CAG, or at least the ACE version, because he also has his kill marks on the side here as well, and as well as some other art. So you have Captain Lawrence, Pink Floyd. Ha ha ha. Yeah, that makes sense with the tail. That makes sense with the nose art. Again, you also have the ISAF rondel on the wings and on the sides. It's a black rondel, which is really nice. And you have the Raiders Squadron logo right beneath that antenna, right behind the pilot. So it's a really nice logo. It's a really nice Ace variant. But if you're looking for something a little more plain, a little bit more generic, but still Ace Combat themed, we have the standard issue skin right here. Again, very similar to the Ace skin, just less stuff around the nose. This one, I believe, has... I want to say this one also has a fixed number. It's 07 and 207 for the rear, although I think it's dynamic. But looks like the last 2 numbers are dynamic on this. So you can have anything. So you can have up here like an 07, and then on the back, or whatever number on front, and that'd be the aircraft's number, and on the back it would be 2 da-da-da, whatever those numbers are. That's interesting. It's an interesting take on how to do the numbers. You could also probably, I think, remove dynamic numbers if you want to, so that's another option in-game if you just want the 2 in the back. Otherwise, really nice. It's a really nice gray, it's a really nice sand color skin if you want to fly more on desert maps or anywhere else. And now we're moving on to Belka. There is one Belkin skin. So we're going back to the Mr. Sir 46, who did the Ustio skin and the Erusean skin. He also did this Ace Combat Zero skin for Belka. This is the 139th Tactical Fighter Squadron Ritter. And this is really cool because it's sort of, again, like that European color scheme where you have like the you have the dark green, you have the darker green, you have the lighter green, you have a little bit of the dark gray. Although this one's really cool because not only do you have the shark mouth and the yellow eyes, you actually have quite a lot of interesting you have a lot of the Belkin Air Force markings on the engines, on like the wings. You have these white stripes on the wings, which is really interesting design choice, and it gives it a really striking look. And then you also have the underside of the aircraft, which is like a light white, and you have the Belkin flag on the tail. So it's a really interesting aircraft. I do believe those numbers on the engine are fixed, just because I don't think you can have dynamic numbers on the engine. Other than that, also, you can now see that this is a quote-unquote ace aircraft, so to speak. Pilot's name up there, and it looks like there's a couple of... Looks like he got a kill on a Ustio aircraft and 2 Ocean aircraft. As well as he actually sunk a sub and a couple of ships. And some artillery pieces and some other things, so he has plenty of kill markings. Fun aircraft. This is a really fun skin, especially on the Caucasus map, where it could be a really nice... It could really nicely blend in with like the forest and like the spring and summer months. Another skin that would actually blend in really nicely is a skin by, and this is, believe it or not, their name, 404 Does Not Exist. Don't know why they call themselves that, but that's their name. That's their name. This is the 440th Attack Squadron Strike Witches. It's actually a really nice, it's not a flashy skin, but it's a really nice olive drab green. It's an olive drab, kind of a little bit of gray mixed in for a base coat. It's plain, but it's not. But it's nicely still done. You have the light gray low vis Erusean rondels, so that's a nice touch. I like how they're also on the engine. I like how it's on the left engine, but on the right engine it has the squadron logo with the witch's hat. Which is a pretty cool idea. I like the little bit of color on the tail. I like how they also put like the 440th on the tail. It's a pretty nice little touch. And you have the witch's hat on the tail as well. I like how it's not completely symmetric from one side to another. I actually do kind of like it. It's a bit more, I do like this skin still. I like all the little details on it. It's a nice skin. Especially because we need more, at least in the Ace Combat side of things, we can definitely use more green skins. And in the A-10C just needs some more skins in general. And it's really nice to have a skin like this where there's a little bit of color, nothing too crazy with the camo pattern, just a nice darker green. Still a little bit of Ace, but just having that little bit of color on the tail helps. And lastly, we have Davenport 94. He's released a decent number of skins in the past, and this one is his A-10C Federal Erusean skin. I do believe this is the Erusean skin that you can unlock for Ace Combat 4, recreated in DCS World. Again, you have Federal Erusean Air Force. It has the triangular Erusean rondel, which is really nice. It's also really nice because it's also that bold red color, which helps pop it up against this skin. It's a bit more of an Arctic mountainous molted pattern, which is really cool because you have the darker gray, you have the white, or like the very light gray white. You have this sort of olive drab gray coloration. It's a really nice color combination for like the mountains. I can even see this being useful like on the South Atlantic map, matching in. It's a really cool skin coloration. And like sort of like the Vishala skin that I mentioned in a previous video, it's really nice to have the skins from the game actually, from the Ace Combat game in this game. So, with that, those are the A-10C skins I wanted to showcase. There's not a whole lot of them, but this is an aircraft that tends not to receive a lot of skins for a variety of reasons, but it's still awesome. It's still awesome that we have, even with an aircraft that's not known for getting a lot of skins, to have this many already. So, in any case, these skin descriptions will be linked in the description down below. Again, also if you paid attention up in the upper right hand corner, I'll try to add some annotations to link to them as well. And until next time, guys, this is Loco S signing out for the skin showcase, and I'll see you next week. Bye.